What's going on, guys? King Trats here, back with another video on the channel. And today, man, I feel like I haven't cooked in 19 years, but you know the rule on the channel: when anything new comes out, we gotta stop what we're doing and try. We had 2 days in a row with the Wingstop sandwiches because I had a collab. So today we have Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut has two things that they have that are not on the ordinary menu. They brought back their Detroit style pizza. I only had it once, and it was an upload I did almost 2 years ago when I was first starting YouTube. So we did get another Detroit style pizza, and they did bring out a new oven baked pasta. I have never liked a pasta from any pizza chain, but we're gonna do it anyway because we're not doing things that we just like. So we've got a review, and we also have a different kind of pizza I wanted to try out. So that's the agenda for today. Of course, some topics at the end. So again, everybody, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. You want to hit that thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that cringy YouTube stuff, I would appreciate it. Again, you don't have to. That is all good with me. I just want y'all here to rock with me. So anyway, without further ado, let's see what we got. Let's start off with the bag. I don't even know what's what. Let's see what kind of... Did I get extra food? I got 3 items. I have 4 things here. Alright. They gave me breadsticks. I did not order these. Hey! Alright, why not? We'll take it. Hey! Give me a little free order of breadsticks. That's like a what? Thank you for being fat. I appreciate it. Thank you, Pizza Hut. And we also, this might probably the pasta. Why am I turning this way? Let's see what we got in the pasta. I mean, it looks better than the normal pasta I see from most pizza chains. That doesn't look really bad. Let's see if it tastes good. That's definitely baked off. We like that. We love that. We appreciate that. All right, let's get into this pizza real quick. Let's get situated. Got the tamper seals. Have not. It's because I don't have no damn nails. That's what happens when you get manicures. Anywho, let's see. Bro. This looks good. This looks way better than the first time I got it. That looks saucy. Bruh. Now I'm excited. Now I'm excited. Now I'm excited. Why did I say now I'm excited 3 times? And last, I'm gonna show y'all this, but I wanted to get a buffalo chicken pizza. I think I got it thin crust. They had the little deal when you do like the 2 for $6 or whatever it is, the two at $6. And I wanted to get this, so it would have been like $10. So I just got an extra pizza because Pizza Hut and these chains are really cheap. This looks like a dub too. You know what? I got the thin crust because I never get the thin crust. I'm gonna try the thin crust, but we got a lot of food, more than I even suspected. But let me get this situated real quick. All right, that's better. So we have our Detroit style pizza, our thin crust buffalo chicken pizza. Breadsticks, I double checked. It comes with the pasta, and it came out to $6, which I guess is pretty good. Breadsticks and a pasta for $6. You can't really beat that if you ask me. But let's start off with this Detroit style pizza. If you're unfamiliar, Detroit style pizza is a square pizza that usually comes with sauce on top of the cheese. Now, just on first look, the top of this pizza looks phenomenal. I got the deluxe one, which comes with crispy pepperoni, regular pepperoni, sausage, and bacon. There's 4 different kinds, and you can make your own. The only thing that I can say about this is, I don't know what part of Detroit this is from. This looks more like a Lansing or an Ann Arbor type of pizza, if you ask me, because I feel like they usually have that burnt edge, and this doesn't have it. But the rest of the pizza looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. I love a saucy pizza, so seeing this sauce on the top, like, it's heavy. Look at this. This actually looks a lot better than the first time. I can't really remember, but I feel like vaguely the cheese looked better on the side. But the rest of this looks phenomenal. So I'm excited for this now. I want to get the saucy piece. I'm gonna go right for here. This is a weird one. This thing, first of all, man, look at the toppings on here. Look at this. First of all, okay, let's go with pros and cons. Pros. This thing's loaded. There are a ton of toppings on here. Ton of sausage, ton of pepperoni. I can even see, let me pick one off for you off this one right here. They are in fact cupped. And they're crispy. Lots of sauce. Man, that cup is heavy. Lots of sauce. Lots of cheese. I'm with this one. if they didn't call it to Detroit, I would be like, holy cow. Yes, I just said cow. Try not to curse. But this is almost like a mashup between their pan pizza and Detroit style toppings because it's missing that edge. Like, I only see one piece that has that crispy edge. When I get the Little Caesars one, there's crispy edges around here. And that is, to me, like what, when I've had Detroit style pizza, what makes it a Detroit style pizza. But with that being said, this is one of the better Pizza Hut pizzas I have ever eaten. It's really good. It's just, let's just call it Michigan style pizza. How about Detroit suburb style pizza? If somebody just put this in front of me and said, try this pizza, that would be a slam dunk. Because I can't lie. That's damn good. And y'all might get upset about this. This is better than the Little Caesars version, bro. It's just not Detroit. It's just a better pizza. If that makes sense. That's I gotta move on, but I want to take one more bite. Again, the only thing that's missing is that edge. It has an edge almost like a Sicilian pizza I would get from Jersey, but obviously not as good. But look at this. Look at that. That's the kind of pizza that I like. If I'm getting chain pizza, this is the one. Damn. Wow. I would give this a 9, but I got even an 8.5 for false advertisement because it's maybe like Windsor, Ontario pizza. If y'all don't know, that's right across the thing from Detroit. No matter. Some people might get it, some people might not. I'll get another one. Either way, for $11, Little Caesars is what? Their Detroit is 10. This is definitely $1 better than Little Caesars. Oh, that sauce, bro. Up. Cheers always for the sugar-free lemonade. That is not Toretto. I like that. I do like that. But let's get into their new item, their oven-baked pizza. I got the chicken Alfredo. And on first inspection, like, it has a nice top. But I need to see what's going on underneath here. And because I don't know what kind of noodles I'm getting, I'm going to go with a fork. People always judge my utensil usage. But I don't know what the hell is under here. So we're going to try to get in here. Okay, the cheese is kind of melted and congealed into one large item. I don't really like chain pasta, just being honest, but we're going to try it. I'm not going to sit here and say this is like amazing pasta. That would be a lie. But from a chain, easily the best I've had. I've had all the Domino's, I've eaten a whole menu. This is better. And you can take that Papa Bowl from Papa John's and pop it the hell out of my vision, because it's not good. This has a taste of like when someone wanted to make like a quick dinner and they use jarred Alfredo, which I know it is. But it is creamy. The consistency is not... And again, I'm judging this on a chain basis, not like, you know, somebody's homemade Alfredo at all. But this really, believe it or not, I'm going to give this the biggest compliment I could give a chain pasta. I would eat this again. For $6 plus the breadsticks, it's really not bad at all. Again, it just tastes like good jarred pasta, but that cheese bake on the middle and the top gives it a nice little different texture. Is it? We got some chicken. That's the same chicken they put on their pizza. You can see that. A little pale, you know, chicken from a bag. I don't dislike it. I'm not gonna sit here and say I love it. That would be a lie. But if you're a person that's like, because I had people say, yo, Domino's, the pasta is good, but I don't like it. If you're a fan of if you're a fan of those kinds of stuff, from places like this, I think you should try this. This is not bad from a chain. At all. Like, I would legitimately eat that. $6. And some of these breadsticks from Pizza Hut, these look a little sus. Obviously, they're a little cold compared to when normal people would get them. But let me see what it's like in this. Let me just get one bite without. what makes Pizza Hut to me are those distinct that flavor you get from the sauce and the toppings. Their sauce has a distinct taste, and I'm gonna grab this piece so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But that like Parmesan dusting they put, you can get it on the crust too. It's a very distinct Pizza Hut flavor, and it just brings back nostalgia for me. It brings back, I've ranted about the 90s in Pizza Hut. It just brings that vibe back for me of being a super little kid and going to Pizza Hut with the red cups and I'm not gonna go into it again, but like that Parmesan dusting makes these. Even though they're not super hot, they're still hot. I don't live far from Pizza Hut. It's still a vibe. I don't know. Like, that's really not bad at all. I don't know. Pizza Hut, it's just a vibe for me, man. I'm not gonna hate on the Hut. It's pizza. Let me try this one. Okay, like I said, Pizza Hut is super cheap. So I usually will get something different just to try it before I give this away to people. So I wanted to try a buffalo chicken thin crust pizza. And normally it comes with red onions. I don't really like red onions on pizza. It just, I don't like that taste on there, but thin crust is something I never really get often. People like, say you gotta try it. It feels like a damn cracker, and I can't cut it or open it. So that's already, this is an L, bro. How do you even, there, here we go. This is more, aren't you supposed to cut this into squares, or is that Domino's? Doesn't matter. Buffalo chicken on a ripped Pizza Hut thin crust. $6. That cost $6. You could have got this pan or hand toss, by the way. Let me go in this a little bit. I kind of like the crispy vibe. It more feels like a pizza cracker, but I do enjoy this. Pro tip also, if you are looking to keep your calories down, get the thin crust. It's exponentially less. I love the word exponentially recently than the other one, but why it's a buffalo chicken, you have sauce options. I got buffalo sauce instead of the marinara, regular cheese, and just the chicken. I know a lot of people probably screaming to put ranch on this, but I'm not a ranch on pizza guy. The buffalo adds a nice little zing to it. It's not really spicy at all. But I really like that. It's hard to call this pizza, but it is good. This whole order, $22. That's a deal if you ask me. Listen, that's a deal if you ask me. That's what I'm gonna say. And there are some people who hate on the franchise chains and stuff like that. I live in a place where there are a million really good homemade mom and pop pizzerias, and I still eat Pizza Hut. One, a regular Sicilian pie, which is what I like to get from pizza places, costs $24. This is all the same price. Is the Sicilian better? Yes, but I enjoy this. Especially if you're trying to feed a lot of people, you can feed a little army or one mustache black dude. Like this. Let me see something real quick. Let me get a little Alfredo one here. Let me get one noodle. Vibe. You can spend $24 at McDonald's, or you can spend $24 and get you some decent pizza. For a chain, it's good. I would recommend the Detroit. I would recommend this. Even the pasta, $6 with some breadsticks is a dub if you ask me. You get this, you got $18 about. You go pick it up, you ain't got your delivery fees. It's a W. Okay, and for the final portion, as I'm gonna eat a little bit more of this, I love to get in on topics when people have questions or if I see something on TikTok, and today we have both because they tie in. So I have a question I'm gonna read off real quick, and then we'll get into the topic, because I like this question a lot. Makes me think. I was just thinking about something this morning and I wanna get your take. Don't mind if I do, I love that kind of stuff. Do you think there's a difference between not caring and confidence, or are they pretty much the same concept, state of mind? I just elbowed the living hell out of the back of that wall, and I'm not editing it, okay? I just want y'all to know that I'm built diffy, because most people probably funny bone, hand numb. We just gonna keep going. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about if there's a difference between confidence and not caring. from a baseline, I'm gonna just say yes. And here's why. You can be confident about things, and I don't know if he's talking about something specific because this is literally the verbatim way I'm reading it. But you can be confident about something and care. I feel like I'm a confident person, but I also have things I care about. I'm not just walking around thinking like I don't give a crap about anything. I don't know if he's talking about people judging of you in that sense, but I think there's different levels to it. So if I'm a confident person, I genuinely speaking don't really care about people having something to say about me, but there's context to that. If you've never spoken to me, or you've never watched my videos in depth and you're just looking at me at face value, you don't know me, and you have something to say about me, don't care. Like, for me, judging someone based off of a 30-second video or something like that, you don't know enough about the person to judge their character. You can judge things at face value. And when it comes to face value, those kinds of things are irrelevant to what people think. But it's not as if I don't care, if that makes sense. I'm still going to listen to you, and I value anybody's opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm confident enough to feel like the decision is mine, how I want to take the criticism or whatever it is. It's very tough to speak about something it's a little vague, so I'm going to put it in a different context because it ties into what I'm saying. Since I'm Dr. Phil, when it comes to dating, I'm a very confident person because I feel like I'm self-aware. I don't think I'm perfect because thinking you're perfect comes off as arrogance because no one's perfect. And I'm the first one to say that I'm the farthest thing from perfect. I have things that I try to work on with myself every single day when it comes to being a better person. But I still am confident enough to know who I am and understand context of what people are trying to say when they're judging me, whether it be as a suitable mate, friend, content creator, or whatever. Technically speaking, no. Sometimes they do go hand in hand. But I feel like when it comes to things like this, context matters. Because if you don't care about anything in life, what are you doing? You know, like, you have to care about something. If you're just walking around saying, well, I don't care about anything, I think you need to reevaluate yourself. But I also think you need to be confident. And that's going to tie in to the second half of this because, again, I need to find a good way to get a reference for these as far as TikTok goes, because I see a lot of things on TikTok, but I feel like the topic matters, not the exact TikTok with a lot of these. Anyway, it was a guy who was kind of making like a PSA, a public service announcement. And he wanted to tell people, because a lot of men and women say when it comes to other people being attracted to you, that confidence is key. This is good, man. I just want to say that again. And I agree with that. And what he says, just because you're confident doesn't mean you're going to get girls, women, or men, or whatever. Confidence is not going to make somebody like you, in other words. That was the exact quote. And this is where it always comes into the fact that context always matters. He's not wrong. But he's not 100% right either. And what I mean is this. One of the biggest pieces of advice I can give anybody when it comes to really anything, but in this case he was talking about dating, is confidence does matter. It is key. And what I think it does for most people is it can swing the pendulum of what the perception is of the person who's looking at you. In other words, the girl or the guy or whoever you're trying to talk to. So, I'm going to try to swallow my food before I spit breadsticks on people. For example, if a woman was looking at me and she said, okay, this guy's a 5. If I was confident, not arrogant, huge difference, in how I approached said woman, I do believe it can make you a 7. It's not going to make you a 10. But it'll definitely make you a 7 in my opinion. If you're a 7, it might make you a 9. If you're a 10, it might make you an 8. I've alluded to this before, but what comes out of your mouth when you're talking to somebody you're trying to date can make or break what the hell's going to happen. And I know I'm not talking about playing Twister as we used to talk about, but dating in general. I have had plenty of instances. Did they cut this or no? They cut this weird. Look at this slot. No, wait. Oh, here's another cut. Thank you. I was about to be like, man, what'd y'all do? That's a nice cut. Plenty of instances in my life where someone of the opposite sex, I was having a conversation with them after finding them attractive initially, and they start talking, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not attracted to this person at all. It can definitely do that. And I think a lot of guys lack the proper confidence when it comes to talking to women. Women do too, but stereotypically speaking, most of the times the guy is the one that's approaching. That's why I'm saying it that way. And I know not always. There are women who approach men, and I personally look at that as you're confident, and I like that. But a lot of guys will either go too far with how their confidence goes, or they're not confident enough in their approach. And I mean this respectfully, ladies, but most ladies they've got a sweet spot. What I mean by a sweet spot is when it comes to their preference in a mate, whatever a woman is interested in. Men tend to be a lot more black and white, women a little more gray, with how they think. So when a woman says she likes confidence in a guy, it means you have to think well of yourself, but there's also a point where you've gone too far. So you've got to stay somewhere in this area. I don't know what I'm holding on to, but it's right here. Because if you're here, you're going to talk yourself out of whatever was going to happen, whether that's a girlfriend or somebody you wanted to watch and play Twister with, whatever it was. So many women I've talked to have talked about horror stories when it comes to dates they've been on, where the guy they were with was talking ad nauseum, until you puke, too damn much, about themselves and what they do and what they've accomplished and how much money they make, etc. And there becomes arrogance when you don't even listen to anything that she's saying and you just continuously talk about yourself. And the complaint that I hear over and over again, well, why did the date go bad? All he did was talk about himself. That's not confidence. That is arrogance. Confidence is not verbal. Confidence is mostly nonverbal. Confidence is the way that you carry yourself. It might be the way that you talk, but not necessarily what you're saying. You can be confident without saying a word. You can just carry yourself. If you're walking around with your shoulders slumped and your head down, that is not the walk of a confident person. If you're walking around with your head to the clouds and doing this, that is also not the walk of a confident person. That's the walk of an arrogant person. But a person who's just walking. I know it sounds crazy. There's the sweet spot. Maybe has a grin on their face. Maybe has a smile on their face. Maybe has a... Not again, there's a sweet spot. Not the creepy smile. Let me walk around this. Like, that's weird. But a lot of times, if I see a woman that I like, I just kind of got a smile on my face. Like, it's just like a little... If I make eye contact, I'm not like... But I might just look and give a little... That's it. Look the other way. When you're approaching a woman, confidence is being confident in how you're talking to her. So a lot of times dudes will walk up to a woman, and I'm going to go with the underconfident. Hey, hi, I was just wondering if... Already done. Clapped. Or there's the other dude, right? And I've seen this at bars. Dude walks up to her. What are you doing? How you doing? What? Like they're very just like pushy in how they act or the words that they say. They'll say something like, yeah, you're hot. I want to... And they'll start saying rude or below the belt type of comments that go too far. Don't do that. Don't. If you like somebody, you can be confident and just approach them and be forward without being a jerk because the decision is already made. You can either strike up a conversation by something that you might find that they're interested in, Again, I've done this. I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. So if a woman was wearing a Star Wars shirt and I walked up to her, I'd be like, you like Star Wars? Oh shit, I like Star Wars. And I would just go with that. If it's Darth Vader, you know, Darth Vader's my guy. I just real casual, real chill. Or if you really want to push the envelope, you can still be confident by talking and saying things like, I just think you're really attractive and I'd like to get to know you sometime. The end. If she says no, oh, okay, you're beautiful. That's it. Have a nice day. If she says yes, start the conversation. But you can be direct without being a jerk. And the jerk thing comes off as arrogance. Understand this. If you're a 5 and you're talking like you're a 10, you're done. Only extremely gorgeous people get away with extremely stupid comments. You can say whatever you want to about this, but if you take 2 men and one is extremely gorgeous, where the woman finds him extremely gorgeous, and he walks up to her and says, "Ma'am, you're hot." He might be in there like swimwear. When I mean in there, she might want to talk to him more. Again, if that woman thinks you're a 5 and you walk up to her, and you say, "Damn, you're hot, you're creepy." So be careful. Just start a casual conversation, but be confident about it. Be confident in what you're going to say, without being arrogant, without being rude. And I do think that you can take yourself from a 5 to a 7. It's not game, it's you being real. Game works on 21-year-olds and only works for really hot people. I'm not that. I have no game. I have never had game. I've always been okay in the woman department, but within reason. I don't walk around hitting on everybody. If you really think somebody is attractive, don't hit on 16 people before you talk to them. Because if they think you're cute, they're watching. And ladies, it's the same thing. There's a confident woman, strong, confident woman. Some men like submissive women. If you're one of those people, congratulations, not my thing. But I feel like sometimes people mistake confidence for arrogance. And that's where they kind of get mixed messages. I've been told I'm cocky multiple times. And when I ask them why, they don't have a reason. Usually it's women. They're like, yeah, you know, you're like kind of cocky. And I'm like, okay, can you explain to me how I'm cocky? You know, it's like the way that you like walk around with your, they always say the same stuff. You walk around with your little smile, my little smile. But I'm going to tell you this right now. When they can't explain it, that's a confidence thing. And if you tell me that, there's a very high probability that we can go on a date. You got to know the banter. Got to understand the banter. If a woman finds you cocky to the point that you're unpleasant, their body language and the way they tell you is going to be completely different. If they're like, yeah, you know, you're kind of cocky, that's not a bad thing, fellas. Understand that. If they come up to you and say, oh, you're so cocky, and they're not smiling, or they're rolling their eyes, or they, you know, are already walking the other direction, abort mission, you screwed up. And I'm not saying to practice because it's weird. But again, biggest thing, be confident, but be respectful and be yourself. Compatibility matters. But don't sit here and tell me that confidence doesn't matter. But it's more of a quiet confidence. It's more of a confidence that comes from within. If you have to be confident by telling people what you are, who you do, etc., that's not confidence. It's fake. It's arrogance. So understand the difference between that. I'm a Game of Thrones fan. One of the best quotes from that show was in the 2nd season with Joffrey, who was, you know, nobody liked him, but it doesn't matter. The whole point was he yelled at somebody and he said, "You have to listen to me. I'm king." Okay? And his grandfather looked at him with the straightest face in the world, and I believe this completely. And he said, "No king that says he's a king is a real king." You understand what that means? If you have to tell people what you are, and I've said this about alpha male, I can say this about anything. If you have to tell people, well, I'm good looking, you're really not. It's not your decision to make. The perception is people's reality. So you telling people I'm an alpha male, is the biggest con, and no one believes it. I've never met a true alpha, type A personality type of person who says, yeah, well, you know, I'm an alpha, so you're telling yourself that for reaffirmation, for affirmation, I should say. Or even reaffirmation, you probably did it twice. The minute that you say that, everybody's eye roll. So if you're the type of person saying that, don't. Natural selection is how alphas happen. Nobody had to tell any apex predator that he was an apex predator, or she. They didn't. They just exist, right? Lions and sharks and all. And always remember this too before I get out of here, about the context. Let me go and write this podcast. About the context. No matter how good things are going for you, no matter how on top you feel, no matter how much, understand that your perception is all relative. There's always a bigger fish than you. Just because you move up in a status ladder doesn't mean that you're now better than everybody or better than anybody. Because in the ladder of anything, you can fall up and down that ladder as much as you see fit. And there will always be a hierarchy where you fit in. You can say whatever you want to, but that will always matter. I'm going to give you one example, then I'm up out of here to finish off what I'm saying. I remember a tweet, and this was probably 7-8 years ago as well. And it was a tweet that Drake had. And Drake said, the first million is your hardest, you know? Now, Drake's highly successful. He should feel happy about himself. But understand, when I say big fish and little fish, which is what I'm saying, he wrote that. It was a tweet. You know, first million's the hardest. Like, he was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, after that, I started rolling in. And I'll never forget this. T. Boone Pickens, one of them 1980s Gordon Gekko type corporate raiders, big, but he gave away a lot of his money. The reason I know who T. Boone Pickens is because he donated to Oklahoma City's, like, college, their football team specifically, like, a massive amount of money. You know, so they got all these new uniforms and facilities, etc. So that's kind of how I remember who he was. But he tweeted back at him, T. Boone Pickens. At this point, I don't know how old he was, but he wasn't an elder gentleman. And all he wrote was, try your first billion. And when I read that, I'm like, damn. And Drake can't say nothing about that. And I'm not saying that because I'm not Drake. When Drake's looking at me, yeah, your first million's the hardest. But T. Boone Pickens sitting over there, he's like, yo, I'm worth 20 billion. What you talking about? Try your first billion, my boy. And then there's somebody like Jeff Bezos like, first billion, try your first 100 million. There's always places that you can get better. And there's also places you can fall off on. You know, so I feel like that kind of attitude in life, no matter where you are, as far as don't get too down when things are down, just continue the course, and don't get too up when things are up, because it's going to come back to earth eventually. Nobody stays hot forever. No rapper, no actor, nothing. And that just doesn't happen. So understand that and try to live your life accordingly. So just stay humble, stay within your means, but be confident about who you are and confident about where you feel like you're going, because you shouldn't stop and be complacent at any time. But anyway, pizza, breadsticks, pasta, all W's, 24 hours. Detroit, I give them all, get them all. So that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully I can cook tomorrow, nothing new, I hope. Don't tag me, leave me alone. But we'll be back tomorrow, more content, man. I love y'all hand signs. They made it to YouTube.